Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dr. Lee Horine with Ignite Chiropractic, and today's topic, we're going to talk about multiple sclerosis. That's a very devastating disease that affects too many people today, and there's not a whole lot that could be done effectively for it, but there are other solutions that a lot of people aren't thinking about. And so today I wanted to bring a little bit of research about how this condition can be made worse and sometimes things that'll bring it on. And as you saw in the title, it's actually from the blood flow. So your heart has to pump blood not only to every part of your body, but to your brain itself. So it's literally shooting blood up through your neck, through the spinal bones themselves, up into the skull, into the cavity, and that goes into your brain. And so your brain is bathed in blood. It's also bathed in something called cerebrospinal fluid. And that is there to hydrate and keep all the nutrients going to the brain. Well, what is happening in some people is the top bone in the neck can be misaligned. When that gets a little bit shifted out of place, then what will happen is it can affect the amount of blood that is being pumped into the brain, or even the amount of blood that is exiting the brain. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but it could just be a little bit of a decrease in brain blood flow. What that can do is that can actually set on the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. It can also set on other neurodegenerative disorders in the brain. And that can have devastating effects. And that can also cause exacerbations for people who already have neurodegenerative diseases like multiple sclerosis, because now they're not able to eliminate the waste products. It can cause lack of oxygenation, a lack of nutrients that are going to the blood, or so going from the blood into the brain. And that just causes devastating effects, because clearly if you hold your breath, that means that you hold your breath long enough, you're not getting enough oxygen because you're not breathing, that is carried by red blood cells that go everywhere. And if you hold your breath, how long can you hold your breath before you pass out? Not very long, not very long at all. So that's how important it is for every single red blood cell to be carrying oxygen into the brain. Well, in a similar way, it's also carrying nutrients. And so if those nutrients aren't getting through, and maybe some are getting through but not all, it's kind of like you're starving a plant. You have a plant that you want to live. You only give it half the amount of nutrients that it needs to survive. How well do you think it's going to do? It may survive, but it won't thrive. That's for sure. Same with a human being. We don't give ourselves enough food, we're not going to thrive. If we're not giving our brain enough nutrients, even though we're eating enough food, but because that blood isn't able to get into the brain and circulate, well, how well do you think our brain is going to? The cells in our brain are going to function? Not very well. And so that's what is at least a part of the problem with multiple sclerosis, and it can also exacerbate it according to the research that is currently out there. And this is not talked about a whole lot, because for the most part, in modern medicine, like, what can they do about it? They can't give you a pill to allow the bone to shift back into place. They can't do anything about that, and they wouldn't even think about that as a solution, because chiropractic, honestly, is very foreign to most medical professionals. They don't really understand it. They don't understand how it works, and so it's kind of off the table as a treatment option, which is why a lot of people have never heard about it. So I just want to be able to share that to you so that I can bring it and put it on the table so that you can have an educated understanding of another possible factor that is compromising your ability to handle this devastating type of condition. So when we do our adjustments in the office, it's very, very simple, because we allow your body to shift your bones where they need to be. When we do that, we basically are helping to reconnect your brain through the nerves to the cells in your body, and so you're reestablishing that connection between you and you. And when we connect your body to yourself, well, what happens? It starts to work, and your brain starts to communicate and control things the way it's supposed to, and then literally even the bones themselves start to shift, and it starts to take pressure off, and all these things can begin to change substantially, and you can see massive shifts in your health back to normal. Right? We're not doing anything special here. We're just getting you back to normal. And for many people, back to normal is just the most brilliant thing in the world. It is just so cool to be functioning the way that our bodies are designed to function, which is healthy, vibrant, enthusiastic for life, and then just soaking in this wonderful goodness that is our lives. So if you know anybody who is dealing with this, guarantee you they're probably looking for it, for some sort of information, some sort of hope that they can latch onto. Share this with them. It will be a big blessing in their life. So I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.